All right, we started recording. If there is interference, I will find out and mute people just so you know if you get muted, you can unmute. I want to welcome everyone. Hey, Amelia, see you popping in. Welcome everyone to tonight's call. It's fun for me to have an opportunity to get to share some of my thoughts with everyone. Tonight, I thought we would talk a little bit about just some of the basic things that we do as coaches and how, I think I've had a lot of people say to me, how are you still consistent with Success Club? It's been 90, I think, 2 months now, 91. I don't know. I don't really track that. I do have a goal, personal goal for myself to be consistent and constantly find new people to help. And I have to tell you that recently it's been harder, and I can tell you why. And that is the good thing, is if I can tell you why something is getting harder, there's always a way that you can work on making sure that doesn't happen. I know how to fix it. I just have to work on what I'm missing. And so I thought I would share with you a little bit about what it is that I do and why it might be more challenging some months, and what I can do, what I know I can do to change it, and what I have done in the past and how that works. Because those are the kind of things I think that people look at, like, how can you continuously do that? And it just must be easy for you to find 5 new people every month. And it's not really easy, but I guess kind of the secret is that I don't give up, right? Like, I don't tell myself that it's not going to happen. Like, I keep working until the end, and I believe that I will be able to find new people. But the thing is that it really comes down to doing consistent activity all month long. And what I have to say that's kind of interesting is that, I don't know, those of you that don't know me, I have 4 kids. They're currently almost 17, 14, 11, and 8. And so I drive to school with them. We talk, every month. They're like, what are you doing today, Mom? Like, after, on their way to school, I got to go to work. I got to help find the people. I kind of like, they know my job. They know what I do. And near the end of the month, I talked to my 14-year-old son. And he's like, so Mom, why are you doing this again? Why are you waiting until the end of the month to help people? Like, you need to do this. Why don't you just talk to people all month long? And I'm like, well, you're so smart, little guy, because I should be doing that. So sometimes it's really easy to put things off, and then when there's urgency to work on things, and I kind of think of it like, if you're going on vacation, how many of you, just raise your hand if this is true for you, like, are so productive 12 hours before you leave on vacation? I know for me, I get so much done, right? Does anyone else have that happen to them? Like, they can do so much because it's like me. We have this emergency kind of like thought process. If we just get it all done right now, then I can leave and like I'm done. Well, sometimes I think I wait till the end of the month to work on my business, and then I'm operating in vacation mode. And then that's, again, it's not a bad thing to be like that, but here's what happens with me. It becomes icky because it's all about me, right? Like, when I'm doing something and it has to be done on my time frame, to me, that's not like how I want to be. That's not who I authentically am. So I feel out of alignment, even though I'm meeting my goal, because believe me, I'm like a goal-oriented, challenge-winning kind of girl. That's partly why this business works really well for me, because I love to help people, but yet I'm up for the challenge, and I'm going to push myself all the time. So here's my predicament, is I get into the situation where I know I can win if I just talk to enough people, but I'm making it about me, and it doesn't feel authentic. It feels like I'm going to win, and again, it's good to win. Andy says he always gets it done with him. And I agree. I do manage to get there. I just don't feel always like I'm doing it for the right reasons. I feel like I'm doing it for my reasons, which again, I am, but I want to make it in alignment with my authentic self of trying to help people get what they want and get it done in my time frame. So here's my whole, like, all that explaining to really get down to saying, like, if you're consistent, and you start at the beginning of the month and you stay on it, there's always enough people to help. And sometimes it takes a little bit of momentum to build that up. And if you've read The Compound Effect, it's one of my favorite books by Darren Hardy. It talks about filling your pipeline and creating that big momentum, that big sort of a, like, running around the Ferris or merry-go-round and then jumping on, and you're just riding, and you just have to touch your foot down every once in a while. If you don't do that and you just are running all the time, and you're never really, like, you just stop, and then you have to recreate that momentum, and then you stop and you recreate that momentum. I think that's kind of the boat where I'm in, where it starts to feel icky at the end of the month. But if you were to slowly do all the things that you need to do consistently all month long, I find that you don't really run into that problem. So that's what I want to talk about tonight. What are those things that we could be doing It's funny. Every time I go, like I sit down before a call and I want to collect my thoughts and I start taking notes and I have things to share. I'm jotting down all these notes. And then I take a higher level look at them and I summarize them. And I went, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm going to teach you some of the vital behaviors. And you're going to laugh and you're going to go, oh, I hate it when they tell me the vital behaviors or what the basic steps are. And I'll try and summarize them into more precise tasks for you, right? But when I look at them and I bring them up to a high level, they always seem to align with the vital behavior. So I have to give Beachbody a lot of credit. Those really are the things that we need to focus on, okay? But I'm going to share with you what it looks like in my mind, right? And how I think it works so that you can take it into your own life and figure out how it works for you. So really what it boils down to is sharing your story, okay? Everyone's joined Beachbody for a reason, and many of you, I know your stories, not all of you, but your story is what you need to share, right? And the reason you joined was either you had results, you hope to have results, you have feelings about what you're doing that you want to share. And, some of you might have just joined because it's an incredible company with awesome products and you want to build a business and have an incredible income. And maybe you haven't had results yet. Okay? So those are kind of the options of where you might be. Does anyone have a different story kind of about why they became a coach and what their goals are that doesn't align with one of those things? You can unmute. I just want to make sure I cover where everyone's at. Okay, so kind of coming from those arenas, for me, I was a customer. I had an incredible feeling when I finished my first program, and I wanted everyone in the world to feel as good as I did. Simply wanted to pay it forward, and I was just doing authentically sharing, and there really wasn't social media that I was aware of at the time. This was back in 2006 or 7, and I just shared in person. So it doesn't matter if you do this in person or in social media. The things that I'm going to talk about can be done on any platform, okay? In real life, online, however you want to do it. But you have to come back to remember why you became a coach and what your passion is, because you want to share some of that story, okay? You want to share why you picked up the program, share what kind of feelings you get from it, and just really connect with people, okay? So you're going to make a note that I'm looking at if you see me looking away. You are going to make either social media posts about that, kind of trickling your story out there, but really touching on the emotion, okay? And not every post wants to be about that. When I think about sharing on social media, I think about a book that I read by Gary Vaynerchuk, and it's called Jab, 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 Right Hook. If you haven't read it, it's a great marketing kind of book about how to share on social media. So you're sharing your story along the way, and you're not really saying, join me, join me, join me at the end of every post. You're just kind of sharing how you feel, why you got started, so people can get to know that about you. And you're being consistent. So even if you've shared that a little bit, you're finding new followers and meeting new people. You want to continue to share that. And I'd have to say that I'm guilty of not doing that. So don't follow my social media. I do it in person. I'm just not really good at putting it out there. And I need to get better at that because I think that's really key, okay? So when people look at you on social media, you want them to be able to see that you've had results and that you're continuing to use the products and that you have a passion for the company and for helping other people. You want to help them reach their goals, okay? So that part, if you can figure out a way to share that, and so many of you are really good at that, and I've seen your posts on social media, and I watch you, and I'm like, oh, I just got to do, okay? I'm one of those that just watches and then wants to do and hesitates. So don't be like Lee. Some things you can be like Lee, but take action where sometimes I don't. The key to what you're posting is really the emotion side of it, okay? So you can talk about the sales, you can talk about the products, you can talk about how great our trainers are, but people connect to you and will buy it from you. There's another great book. I'm going to give you another name of a book for anyone looking for great books. Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Incredible book. It's about people by why you do something, not what you do. So they're not going to just buy from you because you're a Beachbody coach. They're going to buy from you because why you became a Beachbody coach. If they don't know why you became a Beachbody coach, you need to be able to help them understand that and feel that feeling, okay? It's a great book. If you're wanting a new read, that's a great one. So the things that you need to do on your social media platform or in person is the main thing I'd say is connect with people, okay? to truly and genuinely care about other people and get to know them and be curious about them. And then as you connect with them and do this, you can talk to them. And I have this great list of questions that I put together, gathered from a bunch of people that I interact with. I'm going to share that in the group tonight. It's all about ways to get the conversation going, questions to ask, drive conversation, okay? Those are some of the things that we want to do, or drive the conversations down the path that we want them to go. Not just how are you, how's your kid's first day of school, but maybe like, what have you been doing in free time now that your kids are in school? Looks like you're going to work out. Where do you work out? Like, to drive the conversation to kind of go down an alley where at least you're going to have a fitness conversation, okay? So you can do that online or in person. But the more conversations that you have like that, the more chances you have to figure out what you have that's going to help somebody. And to me, and maybe it's a game in my head, but I'm always, even before Beachbody, was about connecting people to solutions. Maybe that's why I'm really good at this, because I'm like a connector. There's a book, I think it's by Malcolm Caldwell, I think it is. And I don't remember which book it was. I don't think it's Tipping Point, but he wrote that. But anyway, in his books, he talks about different types of people, and there's these people called connectors. So I love to learn about people, figure out what I know that can help somebody reach something that they are working on, whether it's finding a new doctor, finding a school, buying a shirt somewhere. You know, like, I love to like find out what they need and connect them with the answers. So to me, it's all like a little curiosity game where I get to figure out what people need and remember things about them. And then when it's time, if I'm authentically caring about them, I get to help them with a health or fitness thing that falls in line with their Beachbody goals. Okay, so that's like in a perfect world. But where I know, I told you guys I would tell you where I struggle and where I'm stuck, is you have to have people to help, or you have to be constantly connecting with the people that you know. But once you have talked to all the people that you know, where do you go, right? Like, call it our warm market, and you never run out of a warm market if you're constantly bringing people in and getting to know them and creating more warm market. So some people have a problem with that, and I've never had a problem with that. The less people that I meet, then that can become a problem. So what I wanted to say was that I've identified where a problem is, and it's because I'm not really reaching out and meeting new people and connecting with them. I might be adding them to my network, but if you don't get to know people, you can't help people, right? And if you are, it becomes all about you. Hey, are you interested in health fitness? You want to buy a challenge pack? Like, that's sales. And I really might be able to be good at it, but that's not, you aren't, I mean, things like, I'm not passionate if I'm trying to help somebody for my own purposes. So when I'm really passionate about helping somebody with their health and fitness goals, the more that I can connect with them about their reasons for life and existence and maybe getting to know some of their goals, then if I suggest that I can help them with something, it's not me coming in and saying, guess what, I can help you. I don't know your story. So that part is kind of the secret sauce right there. So Beachbody vital behaviors are be a product of the product. So obviously we want to have and use the products and have transformations. We want to add people to our network. We want to invite them to join us, whether it's in a group, whether it's to get results in general, or whether it's to join a challenge or become a coach. Our goal is to help them reach their goals. So maybe they have financial goals, maybe they have health and fitness goals, but with the Beachbody solution, like, those are the vital behaviors. So I every time I go down and write down the things that I do, it's really about adding people to your network, getting to know them, which is connecting with them, building authentic relationships around whatever connected you with them in the first place. And then as you're talking to them and you're curious about them, finding out what their goals are, and then if you have a solution, helping them. Maybe they're looking for a gym, they need it to be close to where they work, they need to have daycare, you know, like, maybe you're not the solution for them today. But boy, if you can hook them up with a solution, they're still going to remember that you cared about them. And when they do want an in-home solution, or maybe you wind up hooking them up to a CrossFit class that's near them because your friend teaches CrossFit near them, and now they come to you because they need a shake or a healthy protein or a recovery drink, and you still can help them meet their goals. And so I think we sometimes are quick to rush to, they're not going to buy a challenge pack, they don't want to work out at home, I can't help them. But I feel like that's not necessarily the answer, because we have to, we've talked about this on other calls, meet people where they are. maybe just help them because they have no energy and they need to start to eat more vegetables, and maybe they need a pre-workout drink. Maybe they're going to walk, right? Maybe they don't even want any of our products, but we can just help them start to be on a health journey. And when they're ready, they're going to come back to us. So I think we have to sort of figure out what it is we have to give. So that part of what I'm talking about is really, every time I summarize it up to get back to what is it that I do every day? What are the steps? What are the tasks? Damn, those vital behaviors keep coming back to haunt me. I wanted to also talk about ways to put yourself out there and put your business out there, because I think that that's something that we don't really talk about a lot. So there's two different ways to do that. There's marketing yourself as a health and fitness coach, as a mom who might be a Beachbody coach, as a hardworking full-time employee of a company who also helps people with their health and fitness goals on the side. So many different ways to market ourselves, maybe not as experts, but maybe as product users. But how do we do that? Do we walk around with the sign from the Beachbody coach, I can help you? Maybe sometimes you wear a shirt, right, that says I'm here to help, or has a Shift Shop logo or a PNX logo. So one of the great ways that we've found just is to talk or to wear and share products. Have a hat, a license plate cover, a bumper sticker, a sticker on your car. Ways to just let people know that you know about the products without having to bring it into every conversation. So on my car, it happens to say P90X on my license plate. Does that make a lot of sales for me? Probably not. Does that help people know that I'm a Beachbody coach? Maybe, maybe not. Does it drum up conversations? Absolutely. A lot of them, maybe not. But the point is if you have a bunch of ways to kind of expose what you do to people, eventually they'll be curious and start to realize what it is that you do without you having to constantly put it out there. So if you own some wear and share, you have a hat, a visor, a cup, a shaker cup, something that you can do to just not really advertise, but kind of advertise, like market yourself in a way, people will ask. Now, you can't just expect that to be 100% of your sales, because it's not going to be, and I'll guarantee you it won't be, but it's an easy way to start and break some of the ice, right? Like I wear an Insanity shirt. I was wearing them when they came out. People were like, oh, wait, Insanity, I've seen that on the infomercial. Do you know anything about that product? I said, yeah, like I actually have done it, or I'm doing it, or it was just released by the company that created P90X. Oh, wow, I didn't know that was with the P90X. Like it's just a conversation. So it's a conversation starter. So I highly recommend, if you don't have anything to carry around, that you get something. Wear a t-shirt, get a shaker cup, and don't carry it around all the time, but use that as a way to help market yourself. So, and I want everyone to think about 5 to 7 ways that you might like to market yourself, right? Like I'm going to list a bunch of things, and some of these you might be like, never, I'll never wear a shirt. I'll never carry a shaker. I don't want to do that lead. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to. These are just suggestions. Another great thing that we've used in the past, I don't have one going right now, but it's creating a local fitness group, a fit club, where you can exercise once a week and you can advertise it in your community. You can either put it on a local college message board, you can put it in moms groups, you can talk to the people at your school. Basically, it's a great conversation starter, and then it also is a great community builder. You're helping the community, like a community service. Maybe you host it at a school, at a church, at a community center, in your backyard. But it's a way for you to invite people to see what it is that you do. It doesn't cost anything, unless if you have to pay for the room, then I suppose you can create a minimal charge to pay that back. But typically, it's a free venue. A free venue and a way to invite people to expose them to what we do. New program comes out, you want to try it, we do it once a week on Tuesdays. Why don't you come to this dance studio and check it out, right? Because a lot of the time, fitness classes can be held on off hours from when the dance studios are used, karate studios, all kinds of ideas. I'm full of ideas if you guys want to talk about that. Just another way, right, to market yourself, talk about what you do, to connect with people, to help them, expose them, right? Referrals, huge way to run your business. You have people that have had success with products. Feel free to say, if you know anybody that you think would like to try this, I'm happy to support them like I've been supporting you. I mean, we can bring them into the next group, help them reach their goals, etc. Like, and you even can give incentives to people. If you refer me 3 people, I want to give you a free packet of Shakeology, or I want to get you you know, a $5 gift card to get you a Starbucks or whatever it is that you want to give away. Maybe it's just a thank you letter in the mail, you know, just something to appreciate people for referring you customers. Obviously, direct invites are a great way. Putting little Facebook ads out there, that used to be an incredible way. It's still good, but it might not be as effective as it used to, I'm hearing. I haven't done a lot of Facebook ads. Handing out cards, going to networking groups. I don't know how many of you have gone to any kind of a networking group in your community. I mean, you can search, there's all different types, different groups, sponsorships, but you could also just create a group where people come and they talk about what they do, and everyone gets to, you know, spend 2 minutes, give their elevator spiel, and now it's like a happy hour, or maybe it's a, you know, a lunch date or a park date or something. You know, it's just a way to kind of help people in the community get the word out. You know, maybe you bring in a photographer, a makeup artist, and everyone kind of learns what everyone does, and maybe it's a referral swap kind of thing where I'll bring a list of people in my head, and I'll figure out if I know anybody that needs a photographer or a makeup artist or a new accountant, and then you guys will figure out if you know anybody that needs an online health and fitness coach. And there's all kinds of events like that in areas, different, you know, based on different things. You can definitely look at that. Hobbies. So if you guys have any hobbies, an excellent way to connect with other people, whether you join groups on Facebook, whether you host groups, host events, craft fairs, that kind of stuff. If you are into tutu making or bow making, or if you have a dog walking business, or, you know, connecting with other people with like-minded interests. I know there's so many different things that we connect with people about. There's my sister has a group of people that she's connected with because my nephew is a cancer survivor. Not that she approaches them with Beachbody, but sometimes your own sanity and keeping your body healthy and your mind healthy when you're going through something that's very stressful is a good way. And Gina has been going through this recently with her daughter in the hospital. That's something that she might be connecting with people on. People might look at her as an inspiration. Then she's able to turn around and say, hey, you know, you can do it too. You can exercise at home. I can help you. I'll get you started. But you're connecting for genuine purposes. So you want to find a way to connect with people that you have things in common with. I think what else I have? School events, nonprofits, synagogue or church events, like all those types of things. You can run a fitness group through there. You can help people with the same interests as you if you want to start a community event. But even just attending those events, if you have kids, and just connecting with people. Not necessarily connecting with them as a Beachbody coach, but connecting with them as a person. If you're doing the things of sharing, and we're going to talk about like ways that you can share and the types of posts next. I have some ideas on that too. But if you're doing your due diligence of kind of putting it out there every day of what you do, and it might seem like you're repeating the same thing every day, which is kind of why I stopped doing it, which again, found out that was kind of a bad thing, because now people, I assume everyone knows what I do, but I'm wrong. Because I still have people that come up to me and say, are you still doing that Beachbody thing? I'm like, oh my God, I'm so bad. Yes, I'm still doing that Beachbody thing. I need to like remind people of what I'm doing. Hold on, let me close the door because I hear a bunch of kids coming home. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to say, well, there's two last things I guess, was, okay, so what do you do to put it out there, right? Because we talked about those are the things, and everyone talks about those are the things. But how can you authentically share it repeatedly day in and day out, which is what you need to do, because the small little things that you do day in and day out that seem like they're incredibly insignificant add up to be the most important things that you can do as a Beachbody coach, okay? You have to work on you, but you also have to be consistent in sharing it. And again, like I told you, why there's less people for me to talk to was because I'm adding less people to my network, and the people that I am adding really don't know what I'm doing because I think that everyone knows what I'm doing, and I'm wrong. So I don't want you to fall into that boat. If you can do these 5 things every day with sharing what you're doing, whether you want to, probably this would be for an online person only, but if you were to wake up in the morning and do, 10 minutes of personal development, read something inspiring, watch a YouTube video, kind of set your mind in a good place, okay? First thing in the morning, 10 minutes. Do you work out and drink your shake? Share something on social media, whether it's from your workout, whether it's from your reading, whether it's about your shake, how you feel, something emotional, right? Okay. Later in the day, share something about your life, Later in the day, share something about motivational quote, right? Something that's moved you. 5 things a day, right? You can share something from your morning personal development. You can share a little bit about your workout or let people know that you are working out. Just do that consistently, day in and day out, right? It's not like you're selling anything. You're just sharing your lifestyle, okay? You're sharing who you are for people that might want a glimpse into who you are. You can do it on so many different platforms in so many different ways. But feel like even if you're repeating it day in and day out, just know that not everyone's going to see everything that you post. So you have to be consistent. And especially what's great about it, on the stuff like, let's say, Instagram, where not on stories because that stuff goes away, but on your real pages where those things stay, people will find you. And then they might look back to see who you are and what you're about. And if they see a join my group, 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 they're like, oh, okay, she just wants to sell me something. But if they see, oh my gosh, look at this, look at her family, look at her this, look at her that, look at her working out. Oh my gosh, she's so inspiring, she's sharing quotes. And they just start to follow you every day. When you do post about, I'm having this group and I'm looking for 3 more people to join me, they're like, oh wow, yeah, she's earned the right to do that, to invite me to her group. And there's a difference between an invite and a broad message. And I just want to share what that is because I think that a lot of people get confused. They're like, well, I put my challenge invite out there and 32 people saw it or 16 people liked it and I invited 16 people today. Say, well, okay, that's the difference between the marketing and an invite because that's marketing yourself. And everyone needs to do a little bit of that. But the invite actually comes when you directly message somebody and say, I saw that you liked my post or I saw that you commented on my post. I love the support that you're giving me. You've been such a great supporter. I'm curious, if you have fitness goals, health and fitness goals, you've set any recent goals, is there something I can help you with? Or I'm starting a group and I know that you always support me. Are you ready to join me? Something like that's directly to them and it's an invite. You have to ask. You can't just assume that they saw it, they liked it, okay, I invited them, and write them down on your list. I invited Mary because she liked my post. I invited Timmy because he said, cool, go league. No. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you always commenting and liking on my stuff. Are you ready to take the pledge and join me this month? I'm looking for a few extra people to join me or looking to help 2 people get started. What are your current goals? Where have you been stuck? And just really get into helping that personal invite. So we need you to be able to do that. What do I have some notes that I don't know what they're referring to? Let's see. Okay, so here's where you can help yourself from getting into the situation where you're stuck at the end of the month, like I've been, I think, the last 2 months. I wait until the last week, and then I start making those personal invites. And I have people that say, yes, they're ready. But then they might not be responding, and I need them, right? I want them to buy it in August, and it's still August, and there's only 2 days left in August, and they said yes. I don't know, has anyone ever fallen into that boat? Because it happens to me more than I hate to admit, right? Okay, we'll see a couple of hands. And the reason that for me it feels icky when I start following up with them and say, okay, well, I know you said yes, so you're ready to buy, here's the link, right? Or even if I get their answers on why they want to do it, they feel fat and lazy and ready to get started, and they go missing. It's tomorrow and I want to help them today and I only have to the end of the day to help them for my goals, right? It starts to feel icky to me, but I still sometimes follow up. So this month I made sure that I had enough people that I could ask enough people. So when that happens, because I promise you, it will always happen. You're like, Lee, I have 5 invites out. I've got successful 10. They all said yes. Guaranteeing it, they all will not buy on your time frame. They all will buy when they're ready. So how to avoid it becoming, at least for me, how it feels icky, is to make it about them and be patient and have enough invites out there so they're not the one that you're counting on that day. That you're there when they're ready and you're following up with your due diligence because people really appreciate persistency and consistency because they said, yes, you're allowed to follow up, but just be patient. Like I followed up with somebody and I didn't want to, I think I said yes. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, hello. How was the birthday celebration? I know you were busy last night because now today's the end of the month and I'm ready. I didn't say that part. But then I'm like, no response, no response, no response. So what I did was I hung tight and I moved on to my next person. And I just know, okay, I need to follow up with that person the next day or the next day. They said yes or just something came up, right? But in my mind, I'm like, they changed their mind. really the best storyteller in my mind. And the next day I got a message, oh, hey, I'm so sorry, but I had to take my dog to the vet, and that, you know, I didn't even get to celebrate the birthday. I appreciate you asking, but my sister came over and did this, and, you know, the dog's okay, but this happened, you know, like, it's like, how icky would that have been if I'm like, hey, you said yes, where'd you go, right? All about me. So I think we just have to realize that we have to put out 2 or 3 times as many invites as we think we need, because that's what it's going to take. But if you start on the first of the month and you're constantly doing the work that we need to be doing, there's going to be enough once you create that momentum rolling in that you can just keep adding to your network, sharing your story, inviting. There will always be people that are ready. Okay, that's like the moral of the story. But even me personally, I fall out of sync with that because I get lazy and I stop doing the small little things that we need to do every day. And then I have to run around that merry-go-round 100 times before I can jump back off. Don't want you to fall into that boat because it's not fun. It doesn't feel good to be icky and make it about me. And, you know, it's easy to stop and not do that. And, you know, my own personal goals and my quote-unquote streak, right, are what's keeping me kind of being a little more consistent than maybe if I wasn't. So it's a good and it's a bad thing. There's a great national wake-up call that I'm going to highlight, and I'm not going to read you the notes that I took on it. It is fantastic, and I love this gal. Her name is Julie Boris, and she has a national wake-up call. I'll get the link and I'll post it. She called it, "It Takes No Talent." Okay? So you don't have to be a PhD or a fitness trainer or a nutritionist to be super successful in this business. You really just need to care about people, and you need to be consistent in the 5 things that you do every day. As you wake up, you do your personal development, you drink shake, you work out, and you share on social media, and you invite people to join you. Some of the 6 things, but I think she groups work out and shake together. But really, it's just wake up, rinse, and repeat. You just keep doing the same thing over and over, and she'll tell you, and she says it, and I took like a full page of notes on her call. And this is not a recent call. It's just an amazing call. And I've heard it just talk on several different calls and different about that same topic in person and on the phone. But it doesn't take talent. It takes caring and consistency. And we all have that. I know we do. I don't know all of you, but I know so many of you. And I know that we joined this business for the same reasons, is to help people. And again, my last piece of advice is you might not hit Success Club every month, and I hope you do, but it's more about connecting people with the products they need right now, because once you create a customer, they're going to be a lifetime customer if you're helping them for their own reasons, not our reasons. As long as we don't drop them like a hot potato if they don't buy, or if they buy something different than what we want them to buy, or they buy what they need, we support them, they're always going to come back, they're always going to refer people. And I think that's what we want in this business, is to have people that are getting results and we're helping them meet their goals, and that they're happy with the products, because we have high quality products that do create results, and then we're connecting with them with things for their purposes, not ours. So I wanted to, I talk a lot. I wanted just to open a call up for a few minutes, and I talked about a lot of things, and I feel like I tell you guys when I talk on calls and I'm posts, I kind of feel like I repeat myself, but there's always new people on the call. So I want to open this up to anybody who has any questions. I did cover a lot about consistency, the vital behaviors, things that I do, where I'm stuck. Does anyone want to ask any questions about anything? You can just unmute if you have something that you want to say, or if you wanted to add anything. Nobody? No. Kimberly, are you going to Super Saturday in Arizona?
Sorry, say that again.
Are you going to Super Saturday in Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you?
Kimberly, I am, yeah.
It's Sunday though, right?
It is
not
Sunday.
Okay.
Anyone? Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to freak you out. Anyone else going to their Super Saturday, Sunday, Friday? It's on September 23rd or 4th, maybe? Maybe going? Anybody? Oh, I see a lot of hands out there. If you guys can make it. Beachbody does host quarterly events. This year there's 3 of them. The next one's coming up at September 23rd, that weekend. If you don't know an event near you, you can ask your sponsor, but you can also look it up in the Coach Online office. I know there's a huge event in almost every big city around. but I highly recommend just getting there and kind of tapping into the collective energy of the crowd and meeting some local people that you can brainstorm with, get together with. It's been really great to have local people to connect with at these events. And just, oh, okay. Yeah. There's notes here. Tony is coming to Phoenix. And I am coming to Chicago. I'm going to post about this in the group tonight, but I'm going to be co-hosting a picnic, so an EKO Team B picnic for anyone who wants to come into the Chicago area or who lives in the Chicago area, October 1st. It's a Sunday. The location is up in the air. We're looking for a place right now. Carrie is doing her hard work to find that, and everyone's welcome. I'm going to fly in on Sunday and be there for the event, spend the night, and fly back out. And it's really just to connect with the team. It makes me super excited. I can't go to everyone's Super Saturdays, but I can gather where we have, large groups of people and get to see people. So I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping that, several of you that are on the call tonight get to make it to that event so that I can hang out with you a little more. And say excited for me to come. I'm excited to come. Anyone want to add anything? I don't know. Cassidy, I know I'm going to pick on you. Did you have any questions or need anything explained further? Or did it help you at all, or did it just overwhelm you from a newer coach perspective?
No, you didn't overwhelm me at all, actually. I took a bunch of notes and said a lot of things that connected with me, right away. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, I feel like sometimes, like I said, I'm repeating information, and some of you might do all these things, but just a great summary for anyone that might not know exactly what I do every month, and I don't do all these things all the time, believe me. Sometimes I wish I did, but the more that you can do consistently, I think just being your authentic self and sharing who you are and connecting with people and helping them find something that works for them. We have so many products that work. If you join to help people, then it's really just a business of getting to know people and how you can help them. And again, it might not be today. That's the best part about this business is I'll meet somebody and I'll wind up helping them 3 or 4 years down the road. So it's like staying in touch with people and staying connected with people. Really just keeping consistent with yourself and bettering yourself. When people watch and they'll see, is she still doing the same thing? If I change businesses, like, oh, wow, she really wasn't serious about that working. And now she's doing this. And a year later, she's doing this. It's like, okay, I know her goals. I know what she's looking for. So it's really, for me, I just want to help people feel as good as I feel. I know that I wouldn't be 48 years old with 4 kids and this great of health. And I'm not at my prime, right? I've had different results over the last 10 years with Beachbody, but I know that I'm where I am today to help the people who need me to help them get where they need to go. And I always look at that as a great reminder to this is a journey, and this is not, the road to success does not look like this. The road to perfect health does not look like this. And there's all kinds of hurdles that we all need to go through all the time. And those are the things that we need to share. So remember that. And people don't want perfect. People just want to connect with you and have you be authentically who you are. So just be you and put your story out there. And if you want someone to look at it and you're not really sure what to post, just ask somebody on the team, because no one's an expert at this, and you get to create you, like the beautiful. Everyone can be beautiful, but it's the you part that makes it, I think, so perfect. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight, guys. And next week we have Cassie Hubanks and Jessica Cook. They're going to share on the call a little bit about how they have been success partners, what they've been doing to create such amazing excitement out there. They're both like top volume producers, success club earners, and I'm excited to have them next week share a little bit about what they're doing. So if you would like to speak on a call, I would love to have you, share with me some of what you're doing and then get you on a call too. You don't have to be of any rank or anything. It's just a genuine desire to help someone else, and you can be a guest speaker on the call. So again, have a great night, guys, and thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I'll post the recording later tonight. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.